Hello everybody, you're watching Foxicalicus. Welcome back to Tiny Bunny. We're going to try and get through this chapter, because the fifth one is out. I'm trying to wrap this up. So here we go. The trail, we're walking to school, for context. The trail led to a snow-white plain with blackened houses in the background. They pumped out gray smoke that carried the smell of birch and pine logs. The freezing cold of the night had finally let up. It fell into slumber under the early sunlight. Ice sparkles appeared on the white caps, stopped the houses. I stopped, confident that nobody could spoil my good mood today. I know exactly who could spoil his good mood today. Not even my personal tormentor. Oh dear. Pyatifenov or his nasty crony Biasha. Not even the shining knife that threatened to cut me up like a dead fish. Cool. Not even the mix of disdain and pity in Polina's rare glances. Disdain?! All of that was left in the past, forgotten like a bad dream. All of that was gone forever. A cow let out a long moo somewhere in the distance. Hello! Thank you for making your presence known. I fell out of my fleeting daydream and walked forward, crunching with the snow blanket under my soles. Fluffy clouds floated above my head. I recognized the friendly shapes of animal kids in them. I don't think they're very friendly. Oh dear. Suddenly a snowball landed on the back of my head. Girlish laughter that reminded me of a small ringing bell in the spring breeze tickled my ears. I turned around, expecting to see her. My lovely guide into the dream world, my dear Alice. Yet instead of a fox girl, Polina stood on the trodden path behind me, with her faithful violin case in hand. Throw one back at her. Got your head in the clouds again, huh, Petrov? She lunged at me with contagious laughter. Why are you lunging at me? Locking her arms around my neck. I just stood there in awe, drowning in the sweet aroma of her perfume. This is all an illusion. Did something happen? She flashed me an embarrassed smile. I saw her cornflower-colored eyes gleam. My grandpa, he can walk again. Can you believe it? The local doctor had no faith in him, but it's like he stood up and just started walking, just to spite him. Oh, this is the happiest day of my life, Anton. She dug her face deep into my chest, tightened her grip on my neck as if I was more than just a friend to her. I started looking around, anxious. Polina, somebody could see us. Are you worried about Pyatifenov? Then you're worried for nothing. He has not been seen for a while. He went missing too. I cautiously parted with Polina, trying to understand whether it was some sort of prank or the truth. Wait, you don't believe me? That officer, Lieutenant Tikhonov, came to our house just last night. He said that Biasha, along with his buddy Romka, went missing. Yes! A group of skiers glided past us straight into the forest. Polina leaned into my ear, sharing her whisper with me, her eyes still locked on the skiers. As far as I know, Tikhonov suspects that all the previous cases were Pyatifenov's fault. No way! I was shocked myself. The rumors that Romka, went off the deep end. I mean, I'm not exactly surprised to hear that. What do you mean? Haven't you heard? He's from a very troubled family. I don't even want to imagine what had been going on in their home. Romka always seemed exceedingly aggressive to me, always angry at everyone without a good reason. Now the darkness that he harbored within overflowed into the outside world, and led multiple small innocent souls to their demise, as well as his own. It was hard to believe, but the first time I had laid my eyes on Romka, I thought things would end this way. Let's move. We're going to be late. Polina grabbed my hand and started running along the village road, accompanied by joyful laughter. With every step, every laugh, every joke, the warmth I thought I'd forgotten enveloped my heart more and more. This is too good. I don't trust it. The all-consuming feeling of falling in love came back to me, this time for good, it seemed. I tried letting go of Polina's hand at the classroom entrance, embarrassed that our classmates might taunt us. But it was as if Polina didn't care at all. She only gripped my palm even harder while opening the door. Everyone is gone. And she was right. Now that the cunning Katya, the heartless Romka, and the sneering Biasha were gone, our class looked as if it was sanitized from parasites. It became friendlier and kinder. I didn't get looks overflowing with hatred anymore. There was nobody to spit a ball of chewed paper at me through the empty shell of a ball pen. That's disgusting. I sat at my lonely desk when Polina joined me. I wasn't surprised at all. Hey, she was so charming that I could call her my muse. A wave of inspiration hit me, and I couldn't help but pull my sketchbook out of my bag. I licked the pencil lead, my eyes glued to the model. She smiled at me again. What's on your mind? No worries. A professional at work here. I drafted the shapes of her figure. I missed an entire word. What? You know, I've watched you from here often. That's a weird thing to say. She glanced at her former desk, then fixed a strand of hair behind her ear in embarrassment. Really? I outlined her cheeks, her cute cheeks with multiple wide lines. That's fast. It was the first time I was able to grasp someone's proportions so precisely. Polina. Yes, Anton. She froze in place, afraid of disrupting my work with one wrong move and dispelling the magic of the moment. Lean here a bit more, please. Yes, like this. Good. Choking from anxiousness, Polina loosened the knot on her neckerchief. What is happening? I've always wanted to draw you. Our eyes met. Oh, Anton. My pencil slid across the paper furiously, adding the shading to her chest. Say, would you like to become the main heroine in my comic? Stop. I've been waiting for you to ask, darling. What is happening? The lead couldn't endure all of the tension and cracked, bursting into a million tiny pieces. I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked at the drawing. I was looking at a terrible doll. In the place where Polina's face was just a second ago, now rested some sort of formless mess. It took me some time to realize that I was sitting alone in an empty classroom, with only the specks of dust flying in the moonlight as my company. It was dark outside. My classmates, Polina, the feeling of euphoria, all of them were gone. Somebody wrote down a nursery rhyme on the blackboard with a piece of chalk, but some of the words were wiped out and I could only read bits and pieces. 1, 2, bunny, meat. I was no longer smirking like an idiot. I stood up, pinched myself on the wrist. A ringing silence engulfed me. There was a taste of vomit in my mouth and my ears buzzed like from an endless scream, full of despair and horror. Hey, is there anybody out here? This is more of a vibe. There we go. Now we got it. Shadows swarmed in the corridor. I walked past boarded up classrooms, past the rotten spots on the walls and silvery cobwebs. What is that? Hello? That's gotta be some sort of like Easter egg. Look at this. What? Rotten spots in the walls and silvery cobwebs. Are these some of like the developers and stuff? They just like put their pictures in. Spiders crawled into the ceiling. This is actually really funny. Lamps flickered anxiously. I stopped before the notice board, stunned. Hundreds of new photos were added to those of Semyon and Katya. Black and white printouts were glued on top of each other. The horrific collage of childish faces stared at me with empty eye sockets. Unable to endure the torturing stares of those watchful, gaping holes, I ran out of the school. Ooh! This is fun. I crossed the front yard and reached the road, where the wind was whipping up powdery snow. No people, no cars, no birds. Low clouds got stuck on chimneys. Windows that looked like they were painted over with ink. Photos of missing people enveloped lampposts and fences like paper skin. Mostly kids, but some adults too. It felt like all the people who once lived in this village now became black and white ghosts in the photos with a missing person label. I dragged my feet forward along the dead street. Some houses had their windows smashed. The wind made itself at home there, wandering the rooms. Every gust made the front doors swing. Kids' coats hung from fences. Their sleeves moved, stretched out toward me. An empty village, an empty husk. What happened here? An overthrown waste bin rumbled across the back alley. Something flashed inside the window frames of the charred village store. I ran away from its sooty facade, then heard a guttural roar coming from the well. We have a well? I started walking faster. trying not to pay any mind to the darkness inside the front gates, inside the bloody dog houses, inside the crooked shacks. The moon appeared from under the clouds. Something flew over my head in this draining silence. Hey! As if a crop duster flew from one roof to another, a huge shadow loomed over me. I rushed to the right, hoping that I wasn't noticed. The small green house in front of me was my shelter. I pushed the gate, crouched, and scampered toward the porch. I tugged at the doorknob. The front door was open. Hey. Okay, bye. A wheelchair rolled out of the darkness, almost hitting me, tumbled down the stairs, clanging with its wheels, and stopped near an apple tree. I followed it with round eyes, then turned my gaze inside the house again. The corridor was obscured by the dark, empty frames on the walls, glass shards on the floor. Is there anybody here? Ooh! I heard growling in reply. Oh ho ho ho! Hi! From around the corner at the end of the corridor, a furry paw appeared, and after it a scary beast face with a pair of burning eyes. Let me see, let me see. A huge, overweight beast crawled on its belly, writhing like a snake. It could barely fit inside the corridor's mouth. Hey! It squeezed forward, clawing at the floorboards. Its maws clanged like a bear trap, inches from my face. The beast got stuck. Kid is lucky. It banged its paws on the walls, spitting saliva in every direction. I'm losing control of my voice. I turned around. I need to get the hell out of this nightmare. Ooh, hello, there's another one. A hunchback owl, bigger than the average human, landed near the front gate and stood in my way. Its beak kept on clicking. So is that the wolf? That looks like a bug. A snow pile bulged nearby, and something reminiscent of a giant shrew crawled to the outside. I fell to my knees as if praying to these eldritch creatures. A figure draped in a dirty fox scalp crawled out of a dark hole, smiling with all its teeth. Hey! Its tail dragged after it. Just a piece of vertebra laced in torn sinews. Hey guys. The creature's bodies became extremely distorted, and I decided I was going insane. They seemed small to me one moment, as small as a child, only to stretch higher than any of the desolate houses the next. Man-eating creatures towered over me. Something kept on writhing in their stomachs, as if looking for a way out. The longer they stared at me, the wider their twisted smiles, their death masks became. We had such a long feast. Ooh, that's cool. The mutilated fox taxidermy mount licked its lips. Its tongue looked like a black centipede. Longer than my forearm, that is a centipede. The nasty insect ran between the razor-sharp teeth and dropped to the bottomless pit that could swallow the whole world. Sweet meat. Juicy meat. I knew it would. I knew it. I knew all of you were evil. What's that? Oh! Which one are you? We devour it. We won't stop. Wait. That wasn't the thing in the house. There was nothing human about their speech. It was all just animalistic growls and bird-like whistles. But I was able to understand every word as if we were speaking the same language. It's a shame you couldn't catch up with us, Bunny. You couldn't bite the moon. You stole my food. Traitors. You refused to eat your family, remember? But pathetic meat. Worthless meat. Huh? You are absolutely useless, brother. You make me sick. Shame, shame. Indescribable horror gripped me when the laughing beasts held their clawed paws toward me. Then suddenly, the thing that pretended to be a fox started barking loudly. Fools. It's his time to bring the treats. Good for nothing. Let him fulfill his mission. What am I supposed to be doing? We'll be waiting for some meat from you tomorrow night. Or else. Or else. Or else. Or else. Or else what? Or else you eat me? Oh. or else we'll eat your entire family. That's what else. The monsters formed a circle around me and started dancing. I screamed. Huge eyes, fangs, claws flashed in front of me, blurring into a string of colorful spots and smudges. 1, 2, time to play with you. 3, 4, 5, the hours will arrive. 6, something, the wolf's gray fur will stand. 7, 8, stomp your hooves and legs. Hey, Foxface, retreated from the fuzzy lights the beastly carcasses turned into. For the fox and for the bear. Bunny, tasty meals prepared. Okay, so that's my job. I gotta go get food or something. Desperate cry. My cry rumbled across the back streets of the desolate village. I'll prepare. I've no other choice, because I said I would do whatever it takes to get Olia, so I gotta save her. The circle broke up and I ran for my life. Felt like I was running into a snare trap. My head was splitting. Ugly images danced inside it, colliding, falling over, getting up and dancing again. 1, 2, what are you? They flapped their wings, poked my face with their beaks and their salivating eyes. 3, 4, 5. They howled and jumped around, and my eardrums were ready to pop, either from their screams or from the internal pressure that fractured my skull from within. 6. My winter hat obscured my vision, and it seemed like the whole sky tilted, like a roof that's about to collapse. 7, 8. Snow crumbled from the sky like plaster. I ran through the empty streets, through the icy world, chased by a pack of beasts. Yet I couldn't see anybody when I turned around. I shut my eyes and hopped away from their ritual dance that went on inside my flared-up mind. I squeezed my ears with my palms to suppress the noise. I just wanted to stop my head from cracking open. The sunrise found me deep inside the forest. Okay. Episode 5. And look at that! We're doing good on time, so we're just gonna keep rolling into episode 5, guys. Let's go. See, that's what I was looking for. It was too colorful and it was too whimsical. I was like, this is supposed to be spooky. The house was enveloped in snow. I liked that sequence. That was cool. That was fun. I liked that. The house was enveloped in snow. A blizzard was coming. I knew it. I knew it. I entered the dust-colored hallway, and the door cracked itself shut behind me. A timid light that seeped through the windows for such a short time was already retreating. The sun was hidden behind a thick white veil. The blizzard whipped up its white flags into the sky, but it was not a sign of surrender. The field and the forest got lost in the haze. A fish-eyed lamppost at the side of a disappearing road was the last glimmer of light around. The day became the night, an endless polar abomination that whispered and roared and circled around the house. Oh! Meat echoed inside my skull. That was cool! I slapped myself on the cheek. That made me jump. I like that. Mom? Dad? The empty house laughed mockingly. The kitchen was empty. The bathroom was empty. The attic was empty. I ran up the stairs, regretting that I didn't study the posters that trembled in the wind. What if my parents' faces were among those who went missing? Poked my nose into Mom's room. A leaden cloud crept across the sky. Where are you? I had no hopes of finding Olia in the kids' room, but she was in her bed. As if everything that happened last night was nothing but a dream. Yay! Thank goodness you're here. Where are Mom and Dad? She didn't reply, as she was probably asleep. I think she's sick. We went out to get the meds, look after Olia. We entrust her to you, your Mom and Dad. A folded note lay near the pillow, a bit to the side, as if it was not meant to be found. Your Mom and Dad. Olia didn't open her eyes. Oh no! There was a compress on Olia's forehead, hot from her body heat. I guess our parents tended to her before heading out. Her head thrashed around on the pillow. Her eyeballs rolled around under her eyelids. Can I jump to the stars? Like you? I was stunned. She was dreaming about the New Year's round lay with the masked figures. No, you can't. Don't. It's all a lie. It's your turn to treat us, Bunny. Olia smiled. Her tiny teeth were smeared in chocolate. Neat. Oh my god. Ooh! I shook my head, trying to chase away the intrusive whispers, the images of gigantic creatures, rotten, worm-infested, and dead. Okay, so this is how we're playing now. The guests will come soon. Don't do that again. And we'll be able to play with them all night. I thought about the hungry beasts from the forest, about the flute and its unceasing call, about the dead creatures jumping over the pines. The house immediately got darker and colder. Something rustled in the attic. Mice? A foxtail? Shadows climbed the walls. Floorboards creaked into empty rooms. In her delirium, Olia described images from my dream, even the things she couldn't know. I'll try all the candy. Don't do it again. I won't let you. You will. Oh, you will. A voice rang out in my head, and at the same time streamed from all the nooks and crannies in the house. We'll come when the night falls. Bunny, bring us tasty meat, or become our juicy treat. I broke free from the illusion's embrace like it was a spider's web, then sprinted out of the room, almost tumbling down the stairs. What am I supposed to do? Clocks counted down the minutes without mercy. Night was almost upon us. That was quick. I need to stop being selfish. What if Olia wakes up hungry? I'm very afraid to open this fridge. Can I get Detective, Tikhonov? Oh. Some leftover condensed milk languished in the freezer. I sliced up a loaf of bread into quarters, just like Olia likes it. I thought something diabolical was going to be in the refrigerator, but I guess not. Then a piercing howl mixed in with the wind song. Something dark was there, in the blizzard's embrace. Hey! Some living being darted around in the snow. If you run up to my window, I will punch you. No, no, no. The night is still far away. You promised to give me a chance. Pitiful yapping reached my ears. The snowstorm subsided for a moment, chasing away the swarm of snowy flies, and I recognized a familiar dog in the ball of fur that shivered in front of me. Maybe that was the chance I was looking for. Zulka! The stray wagged its tail, as if it heard my shout, and rushed toward the front door. Am I gonna give the dog to them? It whimpered as it clawed at the wooden planks with its tiny paws, asking me to let it in. Wow, this game sure doesn't like to give me alternatives. Okay. Well, hello there. I bent down and rubbed the dog behind its ear. It wagged its tail even faster. The dog. Meat. Food. What if I offer some dog meat to those monsters from the Black Forest? Will it be able to satiate their hunger? Without even thinking of how I'll kill the poor animal, I started backtracking, whistling. The blizzard whistled in unison with me, as if supporting my devilish plan. The shivering stray ran into the hallway. I shut the door as fast as I could, afraid that the dog could smell the danger and try to run away. I don't want to see this dog get killed. If this dog gets killed on screen, I am censoring it. Happy barks resounded throughout the house. Pipe down, silly. You'll wake up Olia. No, I can't just gut it in the hallway. The kitchen is a better choice. Zulka tried to lick my face when I picked it up, but I dodged. You're probably hungry, huh? I ransacked the freezer, then tore the plastic bag with meat bits open and threw its contents to the dog. Why can't I give that to them? It sniffed the frosty bones with caution, then flashed me a suspicious look. Eat up. Newspapers with Mom's crosswords acted as a makeshift oilcloth. I I spread them around the floor so as not to get the floor dirty. Seems like my dad, who was constantly busy, forgot to sharpen our knives. I felt dizzy at the thought that I need to slaughter a writhing Zolka like a pig. Please don't. How do I make it the least painful for you? Someone else smirked inside me. Listen, I need you to stay here for now. I'll go grab the axe and kill you, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not having fun anymore. With a look of resignation in its eyes, the dog started its last dinner. My legs gained 10 kilograms each time I shambled toward the attic. That's not an attic. As I peered into the darkness, I was scared that I would come face to face with a goat's maw, feel the stench of his dirty fur, and his cold fingers grasping my neck. I have a better idea. We take that take the axe, and we fight the Eldritch monsters. The attic was empty. The axe lay with its blade toward me, casting a sinister shadow. There must be another way! I don't want to do this! My fingers locked around the handle. Remember, it's either the dog or your sister. That's a good point. It's either the dog or yourself. I felt unending hatred toward myself, toward that stupid, totally innocent dog, toward my parents, who had abandoned us and driven away in their car, toward the beasts that had left me no choice. I hated the entire world. With that anger in my heart and my axe at the ready, I entered the kitchen to execute the last part of my plan. Please. Zolka stood on its hind legs while Oyo rubbed it at the scruff. My sister leaned against the table to stop herself from falling over. I dropped the tool and rushed toward the exhausted Olya. Why did you get up? I heard the doggy barking. I feel better already. Don't lie to me. Let's get you back in bed. But I do. Honest. Don't do the scary face thing again, because I will attack you. She let go of the tabletop's edge to prove that she wasn't going to fall unconscious on me. Her cheeks reddened. I sighed after touching my sister's cold forehead. I realized that I'd kill anybody to ensure her safety. I know. Where did the doggy come from? Are we adopting it? I stood in front of the axe I dropped, ashamed. I let it in because it was cold. It'll leave. Good Lord. It'll leave as soon as it warms up. It has puppies to take care of. We can't keep it. We can keep the puppies. What is happening? We can keep the puppies too. It'll be so cool. I don't think Mom will like that idea. We'll ask her super hard. The stray rubbed against Olya's legs. Probably his lice. Zolka, no. Is it a girl? Is your name Zolka? Zolka, you're ours now. Don't worry, girl. Nobody will harm you here. Olya took a sausage out of the fridge and threw it to the dog. Chomped on the treat with enthusiasm, even though I had already fed an entire portion of beef bones to it. We keep pulling meat products out of this fridge. Why were we going to kill the dog when we have all of this? I'd go take a nap if I were you. Dad will bring the doctor soon and Mom will get your meds. I don't want to sleep anymore. I had a nightmare. She spoke slowly, her eyes downcast. I know. No, you don't. You were in that dream, but how would you know? And I won't tell you, because it was a very, very bad dream. But now... Olya's face brightened up. Her lips formed a smile. I have Zolka now. Everything will be okay. She will bark if that scary owl comes and we'll wake up and hide. And then they won't find us. Olya, I doubt this mangy thing can protect us. I think it can! I think it can. Yet my sister had already made up her mind. She can, she can! I believe you, Olya. You'll protect us, right? Right, doggy? The stray barked in approval. I have something for you. Wait here. Olya ran toward the stairs. I heard them creak. Careful. I'll be back. Look after Zolka. I stared at the dog, stunned by how lively Olya was now, despite being delirious from a fever just a few minutes ago. Zolka finished her sausage and switched to licking the floor. Trying to cozy up to me, huh? I was Olya's only friend. I was her savior. I could at least try to save her. But to do that, I picked up the axe from the floor. Zolka, as if sensing something, rushed after Olya, but I stood in the dog's way in front of the staircase. We don't have much time. Olya will be back soon. I tightened my grip on the axe, weighed a ton now. Little dog followed all of my movements with its eyes. Don't be afraid. I know that all dogs go to heaven. His tail jumped back and forth. Stop being so cute, damn it. You know what we're gonna do? Oops, not that. This might be completely unfounded, but I feel like this dog actually could help us against those monsters in some weird way. Because this dog has been popping up throughout the entire show, throughout the entire game up to this point. So, what am I doing? How will I be different from the sadists from my school if I hurt an innocent dog? Especially when it looks at me with eyes this intelligent. That's what I'm saying. There's something up with this dog. I can't. I dropped the axe, exhausted. Beads of sweat rolled down my body under my clothes, my breathing ragged. It felt like I just ran a 100-meter sprint. I'm not a killer. You can be a killer and not want to hurt a dog. Zolka yapped as if agreeing with me. We're gonna need to be a killer when those things show up again, okay? You're gonna need to be on your A game, Anton. I brought some toys for the doggy. Olya hopped down the stairs. She was clutching a bright ribbon in one of her hands and a rubber ball in another. I pushed the axe onto the phone table with my foot, and with a sad smirk on my face, watched my sister sigh in adoration. You're safe now. But what about us? The windows seemed so fragile, the shadows outside so alive. Olya tied the ribbon around the dog's neck like an improvised collar. Then she made Zolka chase the ball, baring its teeth in a bout of canine happiness, all to Olya's amusement. My sister's laughter was priceless, even in a moment like that. It felt like nothing bad had ever happened, and our parents were about to return, and her fever was about to subside, and the Black Garage never existed. The who? Why can't we just turn into dogs? Did I forget something? Or some other animal? We'd run around, have fun. A foreboding feeling tugged at my heart. Because we're humans. That's boring. Olya tapped the floor. Sit! Zolka yapped in confusion. Not cut out to work in the circus, huh? I'll teach her lots of commands. You'll see. Olya yawned and lay on her floor, lay on her side, there and then on the floor. The ball rolled away from her, attracting the stupid dog. So sleepy. Her eyelids closed and she started snoring. I leaned in and touched her forehead. It was hot again. Guard your owner. You owe her your life. My command was directed at Zolka. The dog kept on sniffing my pants. Oblivious to how clothed to death it was. I ran to the second floor, brought her blanket and pillow. Olya should sleep here, under my watch. Who knows what could knock on her bedroom door. I tucked my sister in. She smacked her lips in her sleep. I rubbed her delicate forearm. Zolka rolled into a ball beside her and started snoring loudly. I can't read this. Oops. Yeah, I can't read that. Unfortunately. I shrank after hearing an ear-rending scream in the surrounding darkness. It was the wind, or the agony of hunger. The monstrous music of the hurricane poured into my ears. Let's just let them starve. It consisted of screeching, wailing, and my own quickened heartbeat. The wind rammed the windows. An open window banged against its frame somewhere above us, as if it were a rabid beast clanging its maw. Had the guests arrived already? Were they walking all over the second floor? Were they running from one corner to the other in the hallway, giggling? I should have fed Zolka to them. They're angry. Their wrath knows no bounds. I squeezed myself into the fridge, expecting the darkness of the doorframe to sink its claws into me at any moment. I waited for toothy animal faces to emerge into the kitchen, their saliva splattering to the floor. I need to calm down. I need to take my meds. I grabbed the package from one of the fridge shelves, pushed out a pill onto my tongue, and washed it down with tap water. We haven't taken meds in a long time. Then collected some more water and washed my face. Felt like the blizzard was disappointed by my choice. It wailed and attacked the outer walls of the house even harder. Felt the immense fear of the two small children inside this fragile house. I realized the shadows were creeping closer to Olio when I wasn't watching them. A black lump that crawled from around the corner, but melted from a direct look. A fuzzy silhouette under the table. Why are you being so mean to me? Stop that. I turned to my head like crazy, fending them off. A gut-wrenching squeak rang out, as if somebody scraped their claw against the window's glass. No, no, no. You're not real. What was that? But if the shadows weren't real, if there was nobody inside the blizzard, does that mean I'm just insane? Yes. I looked at the package in my hand. What did I even take? The kids don't need to read the instructions for medication. They have moms for that. I pierced the tiny font with my eyes. Relieves fits of uncontrollable anger and anxiety. Helps with behavioral abnormalities, manias, destructive behavior. Can cause addiction. Possible side effects include dizziness, heightened motor activity, disruption in thermoregulation, insomnia. In high dosages can cause serious injury or death. I hesitated. What was the truth? How could I tell it apart from the nasty lies? I don't want more. I'm gonna die. I don't want more. No! I took a risk. Things would take a turn for the worse if I couldn't think clearly. I waited, but the medication didn't work. The ominous world outside didn't change one bit. Didn't become any less hostile. On the contrary, it felt like the silhouettes of trees turned into living carnivorous beasts, lurking in the dark, waiting for their prey. Crooked branches bent down to the ground one moment, seeking their prey in the snowy trails, only to then shoot upward into the sky, trying to grab an unsuspecting bird. However, as soon as you looked upon them, the masquerading creatures would freeze, and they would again look like the many dead trees in the middle of a cursed taiga forest. But maybe it was all just the wind's fault. No, there's no way. Black figures moved toward the house, shrouded by darkness. And we are going to move out of this video and into the next one because we are running out of time. So, next one we should be wrapping up this game, which is faster than I thought it was, actually. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to support the channel. Things are actually starting to go down, which is interesting. But that's all for this episode. So, yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye.